Hello and welcome to another video. So this is going to be over what we call rational exponents. And so basically what we're talking about is fractional exponents. So let's just talk about the basics of how we take radicals and change them to rational exponents. So that's going to be our first success criteria that we're going to be talking about, is changing from radical to rational. And so if you have a radical, and in this case, we're going to look at the square root of a. Now remember, this is an understood 2 that is called our index. Okay, so that is our index. And when we go write it as a fractional exponent, what we do is the a is to the first power, and the index is 2, so we write it as a to the 1/2. And so we say that it is the exponent, okay, over the index. Okay, so a exponent over index. Now, a lot of times I will say it as power over root. Okay, some kids like to remember it as that. They can remember those words a little bit easier. And so let's just go through. If I have the cube root of a, that would be a to the 1/3. The fourth root of a would be a to the 1/4. The fifth root of a is a to the 1/5, and the sixth root, the sixth root of a would be a to the 1/6. Okay? Now, that is if each one of these has a power or an exponent of 1. Now, the question is, what happens if it doesn't have an exponent of 1? So that's going to be the next thing we're going to look at. And so we're looking at a couple of different things across here. If you'll look, if we have it as a to the m over n, okay, and it may also be written with the power outside. This is actually the power. So those two mean the same thing. We can write it again as m over n, because that is power over root, okay? Power over root. So an example would be that if I have, let's say, the square root of a cubed, okay, then I could also write it as the square root of a cubed this way. Or I could write it as 3 over 2. Again, the power or the exponent over the root. So another one, maybe I have the cube root of a squared. That could be written as the cube root of a squared, or a to the 2/3, power over root. How about if I have, let's do the fourth root of a cubed. So that could be written as the fourth root of a with the cube on the outside, or again, power over root. Another one that we could do, let's say we have just the opposite. We have a to the 4th, and then we're going to take the cube root of that. And so that another way of writing that would be the cube root of a to the 4th power, or a to the 4/3. A final might be, let's say we have the fourth root of a 5. So that could be written as the fourth root of a to the 5th power, or a 5/4. Okay? So that is how we change it from a radical to a rational exponent. So let's look at some examples in the next video.